Well, Smile for Me by Simi there. Yeah, okay. You can smile because one thing OGTV Splash does to you every Saturday morning is put that lovely smile on your face. And it's time for the interview segment. And like we said earlier, that when we are back, our guest will be with us here in the studio. And thank God, we are not lying, he's here with us in the studio. And we'll be discussing one topic that concerns everybody, business person, not just business alone now, every aspect of our life. And what is that? We talk about service rendering, And to this week, it has been dedicated to celebrating customer service, and this week is known as the Customer Service Week. And customer service is I don't know how to put it, that there's one person that when you meet them, they are very calm, soft-spoken and gentle, because I can tell like, waiting Musa, I don't see for gates. So good morning, and join me as I welcome Mr. Sunday Musa to the program.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, guys. Good morning, everybody.
Mr. Sunday is Director of Sales and Marketing, Parking by Radisson Abeokuta, and also a customer service expert. And today on the program, we're also discussing customer service, because this week is dedicated to celebrating the exploits, the good works customer service people are doing. But what comes to people's mind when you talk about customer service is one guy or somebody behind the desk I have to go and meet each time I had issues, especially with financial institution, because the one place people mention customer service, most of it more is financial institution. So let us break it down now to a layman's understanding. What is customer service? Is it the man behind the desk, or there's something else?
Okay, so I'll make it very simple so that everybody can understand. When you talk of customer service, you can also reverse it as serving a customer.
Okay.
However, customer service is any assistance or support that you render to a customer before and after the customer makes a purchase. And it cuts across. So anything that you do that offers an assistance to make whoever is going to buy something from you either a product or service, before and after, is just simply what we call customer service. So customer service means rendering support, rendering assistance to a customer, either before or after. So before could be, okay, the person doesn't even know much about the product, and then the customer service person will have to explain into details for the customer before the customer makes a purchase. And when the customer also makes a purchase, the first person he runs to is still the customer service when he's having a problem with that service. For example, if somebody buys a phone, like you buy a very big phone and the phone is malfunctioning, you don't understand, you just bought it today, and then the next thing you're having some malfunctions, you have to call the customer service. If it's a financial service and you go to the bank and you have issues with the banking services, you have to call the customer service. So the customer service are the one that will now profile your own complaint to the channels that will solve the problem. So that is just how it happens, and it cuts across. Like I said, it happens also in the hospitality industry, which of course I play a role there. So in the hospitality industry, you discover that it cuts across before the guest checks in, before the guest checks out, or after the guest checks out. So customer service is endless. It doesn't just start and stop. It's endless, because customer service gives you the leverage to continue to manage your customers, irrespective of whether they have bought now or they have bought and they are not buying now, because whatever you do now can also help give a ripple effect of a repurchasing. So it's just simple.
So let's look at how has customer service evolved over the years.
Okay, so over the years, you discover that customer service actually starts, like in our local parlance, it begins with you. So before you actually serve a customer, you have to serve yourself. So the thing is, you have to put yourself in a position where you are ready to be of service. So as it's moving gradually, when it's now time to serve the customer, you have to know, first of all, you have to be somebody who has the empathy, who feels the pulse of the customer. So along the line, you discover that for even on the streets, your local mama that sells akara, that is the evolution of customer service. Customer service starts from there. You discover that there are a lot of women selling akara on the streets, but there's a particular woman that you like to buy akara from. Why? Because anytime you come, sir, ekara, I said today, and things like that. So you see the person comes with a smile, with warmth, and things like that. So different from the one who, when you come to say, Mufera akara, and the person will be like, what are you saying? And the person will not even bother. He will send it to one or two customers that are coming and doesn't even bother about you. You won't go back there. So this thing happens along the line that at the end of the day, you discover that some people are very professional. And this professionalism has nothing to do with your certification. It starts from the cradle, from the people on the streets, everywhere. But you see, recently, at a point, customer service was becoming, people were becoming too complacent because there was no competition. So, because there was no competition, I discovered that a lot of people were misbehaving. The people who were serving were misbehaving to their customers, and customers had no option. But the advent of competition has now made customer service a serious deal. Now, in the hospitality, they call it guest experience.
Okay.
Right? In the banking, they call it customer experience. In the telecom, they also call it
experience
customer
center or something.
Experience. They also call it experience center, because the service is experiential. So, and guess what? With the advent of AI, the narrative has totally changed in the last 2-3 years. Why? Because now with AI, with the chatbot, once you call a customer service or you send a mail, you get a response photo without any delay at all. So that has really evolved, improved.
Now you mentioned AI.
Yeah.
Now, we see many companies engaging more of AI. If you don't have a serious issue, you don't get transferred to a human customer.
Yes.
What you get most of the time is chatbots.
Chatbot, yeah.
Now, do you feel, isn't this a threat to the customer service?
Okay, so it's not actually, it's not a threat fully. For example, in places like China now, if those ones have almost fully embraced 70% of AI, sometimes you go to the hotels, you see AI will actually, when you do a room service, AI will actually bring the food from the kitchen and pass it on to the room. But guess what? AI cannot take over fully, because that personalized touch still has to be there. Okay. Somebody has to portion the food, somebody has to prepare the food, somebody has to place the food on the machine, and then AI takes it to that place, just like somebody who has a drone. Somebody has to set up the drone. The drone runs on a battery. The battery will actually go down and somebody has to replace. So you see, that personalized touch in customer service can never be eroded. So irrespective of how, when customer calls and the chatbot is responding, at the back end, at the end of the day, somebody is going to give you the personalized touch to solve the problem.
So how do you measure customer satisfaction as a customer service? Okay,
so number one, if you want to put it in terms of measurement, for those in the banking sector, for example, sometimes there's always a feedback. In every service you render, there must be a feedback. Feedback gives you the score if you have actually satisfied the customer or not. So in the feedback, you see some, especially banks, they'll put some signs, some simile signs, whether the person has a smile, whether the person is angry, whether the person is neutral, he's neither here nor there, he's unsatisfied or something like that. So those are measures that you can actually use to quantify if the customer service has been professional, and again, another thing again is repeat purchase. If you're serving a customer and some customer, for example, will not tell you that they were not happy with your service, they will just go elsewhere. Such customers, when you call them, they don't pick your calls, they don't even give you audience at all, because they are very dissatisfied with your service. So in terms of measurement, sometimes it has to be the feedback you get, because most of the people in the customer experience centers also have the yardstick they use to measure if the service was actually they satisfy the customers or not. So this goes on, but apart from that, you discover that majorly, if there's a repeat purchase, you know that you're actually doing well. And if you're losing your customers, you know there's trouble. Already.
So let's look at the challenges that is faced in the people in this line of duty. What are the biggest challenges faced as a customer service representative?
Plenty, a lot of challenges. You see, I have this quote personally coined by myself: customers are always right. That is the general quote or the cliche. Customers are always right. But I'm saying customers are always right, but not often correct.
Okay.
And I will explain that. You see, there are sometimes that some customers, you see, the guys at the back of the desk, they put a lot of effort. They drop their own problems to solve your problems. They also have their life, you also have your life. Irrespective of you spending money, to get the service. Also remember that the person at the back of that desk is also a human being, so the person is trying to empathize with you. Empathy should be reciprocal. There are sometimes that these customer service agents face a lot of abusive languages from customers, abuse them to their family, and a lot of things, demoralize them, because they are dissatisfied with the services. Some of them can even go to the extent of slapping. I've witnessed a situation where a guest had to punch the person at the back of the desk, and the guy broke his nose. The case went to court, and the guy lost. The guy denied that he didn't do anything until they showed him the CCTV footages and all that, and the guy kept quiet. So the guys at the back of the desk also have their own personal issues. But when they come and sit on that pedestal of customer service, they forget about their problems to solve your own problems first. So most of the times, the challenges they face sometimes is the way people talk back at them, the way people overreact sometimes. People are not patient.
But sometimes you can't really blame these customers. Sometimes the organization also puts this so-called this customer service representative also in a tight corner. Imagine when, let's take for example a financial institution. I got my money deducted, and I've been going to complain first week, second week, third week, and solution is not coming. So how do you handle that, and what do you have to say about even the organization, the role the organization plays in this? Because sometimes I might be frustrated to want to slap, and sometimes even customer service representative can be funny, because the kind of response you get at times, you're wondering, like, are you really serious about this?
I understand where you're going fully. Not to totally absolve the people who render services or the service givers. The truth is, sometimes there are so many back-end problems that cannot be announced, that cannot be said to the public. For example, in the banking sector, for example, probably there was a fraud issue. Your money got, somebody used the ATM, bypassed you, and then withdrew your money and all that. And you now go to the bank to complain, and then as you complain, it's taking 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks for the matter to be resolved, and probably it's a huge sum of money. There is no way you won't get agitated. But I want you to also know that even at the back end, they also have their challenges, because a lot of effort is being put. Because, for example, if somebody is using one particular bank and the transaction goes into another bank, there's already an interbank liaison that's going to happen along the line. So it's a whole lot of process. Customers also need to be patient. Patience is not easy, but they also have to be patient. But the truth is, whether we like it or not, in customer service, you have to, even when you're dealing with a difficult customer, the rule is you must remain professional.
Now, talking about professionalism, for you want to become a customer care representative, are there certain measures, are there certain certificates that one has to go through, or you just find out that these days you have just come company, or when you are recruited, or you're starting with customers, and then you later graduate to other departments? So is there, let us say, are there professional courses, or are there measures to make this a professional body?
So every profession, you have to go through the ranks. Not just going through the ranks, you have to be tutored, you have to be mentored, you have to go through the experience. So, for example, in the hospitality industry, for example, once you are employed, and for example, you're a greenhorn, you don't know anything about customer service, definitely you have to be trained. You'll be trained, a lot of simulations, they're going to simulate a lot of situations for you so that you have an idea of what they're telling you. So as you work with people, they won't put you at the forefront. They'll put you almost like understudying somebody who is already experienced on the job. So with that, with time, begin to gather the experience, and when issues happen, experience comes when difficulty comes along the line. So with that, and the good thing about it is that there's always a retraining, training, retraining, training, retraining. For example, if a customer service agent makes a mistake in trying to render a service to a customer, and it is very clear and obvious that this fault is from the customer service agent, most of the organization subjects the person back to training. He goes back to train again. So sometimes it's beyond certification. This thing is experience. This thing is relationship, is what you do every day. Sometimes it's with time that you gather more experience along the line. So it's beyond certification. I can guarantee you. So our local women who are on the streets, who are serving customers, did they have any certification? Sometimes you go to some places to buy 2 bags of yam, plantain in the market, and there are some certain women or people in the market who are very warm. If you tell them the last yam you bought was rotten, they will replace it for you. If you tell them you were not happy with the way you served me the other time, they will tell you, I'm so sorry, it won't happen again. And it won't happen again. Are they certified? No. It's all about experience. The relationship, the empathy, the communication, the warmth is all about you trying to empathize with people. That is just the place to start from.
Now, let me ask this question. Okay. A person's temperament, could it hinder one from being a very good customer? Some people say, I don't have patience, I don't take shit, I don't take this, I don't take that.
It's a big yes. Your temperament can affect you on the job. And the guys who put the customer service agents, there's a lot of profiling that goes on into you bringing somebody as your own. Because, see, the customer service agent is the face of that organization. Whatever you say is what that person sees as the response of that company, organization, or whatever you call it. So, or any business entity. So the companies or businesses are very careful at profiling before putting somebody to represent them as a customer care representative or whatever the person, whether it's a guest relations or whatever it is. There's a lot of profiling, because if you have bad temperaments, you can't be there. It's a no-no.
So what are the qualities? What are some of the qualities a good customer representative should
Number one, a customer representative has to be patient. Number 2, he must have good listening skills, because you don't interject somebody that is angry. You allow the person to vent his or her anger and listen properly. You have to be patient, you have to listen properly, and apart from that, you have to have a good communication skills. That communication skill is what helps you to be able to, it's like somebody who is trying to talk to somebody who, like in a local parlance, somebody trying to toast somebody. You must have good communication skill. But not just that, the customer care representative has to know his or her product or service that he or she is rendering, so that each time the customer says one thing, he or she knows where the customer is going. So if the customer is mentioning a problem, the customer care representative has the solution already ahead. And another thing again is the customer care representative must be flexible. Most of the times, some of them are rigid. You cannot be a customer care representative and you are rigid. You have to be very, very flexible, and above all, you have to have empathy. Empathy is key. If you don't have empathy, you can't be a customer care representative.
So, honestly, Mr. Musa, we have to let you go. But in 1 minute, what would be your parting shot on the program this morning?
Okay, so like the team says, mission possible. I want every customer care representative, irrespective of how your business is, whether it's big, small, large, a corporation, or whatever it is, I want you to know that we appreciate you as a service giver. The service you render is appreciated, and keep doing what you're doing. There's a lot of difficulties along the line for the professionals who are at the back of the desk, or for the tele agents who receive the calls, the abuses and all that. But you just have to develop a thick skin. You just have to be professional, irrespective of whatever comes your way. You just have to be professional. And I'm sure that, like our industry, I work for Parking by Radisson, Abeokuta, that is the entertainment. And what we do is that there's one word that we coined out amongst ourselves. It's called scopimos. Scopimos is a Greek word that means intentional or intentionality. You have to be intentional as a customer service agent. So in the hotel there, each time we talk to ourselves, scopimos, 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 we're just saying be intentional, be professional, be intentional, be professional, and render your service with joy.
Thank you so much for being part of the program.
Thank you so much.
So we've been in conversation with Mr. Sunday Musa, the Director of Sales and Marketing, Parking by Radisson, Abeokuta, and also a customer service expert. And from there, whatever you do, you have to be intentional and be professional. We've been talking about customer service delivery in Nigeria, and this week is dedicated to customer service week and to promote their online fashion and promote the service across all businesses. Now it's time for the blast from the past, and the blast from the past we shall be seeing Felix Duke, Two-Face, and Simi coming together to give us this beautiful piece. I'll see you.
Jamaica, here on the earth. Felix Duke is back again. Give it thanks and praises to Jehovah. Protect me from the vampires. Please destroy them with your fire. That is my heart desire. Of course I know Lucifer is a liar. Yeah, baby, Lucifer, the head of Babylon. I'm not serving the God of iron, but I'm serving the God of Zion, the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. Yeah, baby, Baba, 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 when Gaga, Baba, 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 when Gaga, Baba, 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 when Gaga, Mami, Gaga, Baba, 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 when Gaga, Baba, 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 when Gaga, Baba, 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 when Gaga, Mami, Gaga. Jehovah, lift me from grass to grace. Sing, sing, sing along, say my faith and let me go astray.